All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Western Michigan University Virtual Edition. I am Chelsea Yordy. I'm one of the assistant directors here at Western Michigan University, and my focus is the campus visit program. So I am incredibly excited to be connecting with you today in the virtual space while we all are experiencing a completely new way of socializing, interacting, kind of just living. We want to make sure here at Western we're still introducing you to campus. We're still giving you resources that help you better understand what life is like as a Bronco. So that's what we're here for today. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to kind of introduce you to campus in the virtual space. So what you would normally see today if you were visiting campus physically, you're going to see online, virtually. And you get to do it with and my awesome colleague and friend, Cal. Cal, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cal Kriener. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at WMU. Like Chelsea said, we're doing this to really help you connect with that Bronco experience. The presentation is going to be about 20 minutes long, and we're going to touch on all those things that we think really goes into making that unique and impactful experience for you as a student, but also for families of students here at Western. And we want to give you as much of that as we can. So we'll start with a little history, some fast facts. Yeah, okay. So a little bit of history about WMU. We were founded in 1903 as a teachers college. Since then, we've expanded into 7 different academic colleges, 150 undergraduate majors. You can also see we're home to the Lee Honors College. The Honors College is one of the oldest colleges in the country, and we're super proud to have it here at Western. As far as classroom academics fast facts go, you'll find that the student-faculty ratio is 16:1. Your average class size is about 30 students, and the student body you're joining is about 23,000. So that makes WMU a mid-size university. You have access to all of those big school opportunities, whether it's studying abroad on one of our 90 study abroad programs in 40 different countries, or conducting your own research here on campus in the Hennica Research Institution. And main campus itself is only 15 minutes walking from one side to the other. 5 if you're running late for exams and just running across campus. So that size really means that you're getting that small school attention. You can't help but feel like you are part of an interconnected and supportive Bronco family here on main campus. So these are kind of the 5 points that we really think go into making that unique WMU experience for students and for families here at Western, and it's kind of our guide for the presentation. So we'll start with academics, Chelsea.
Yeah, all right. So many of our programs here on campus are nationally ranked. You're going to find that in all 7 of the different academic colleges, most of those majors have a national ranking to them. But what you're really going to find that's really cool is that they're being led by the leaders. They're being led by professors that are the leaders in their industry, right? So these professors are the ones that are on the prestigious boards around the country. They're the ones that are doing the innovative, new, cutting-edge research. They are the ones that are creating new knowledge. You are more likely to be taught by a full-time faculty member here at Western Michigan University than at any other school in the D1 conference across the country. That's really big. We want to make sure that you're in this environment where we are pushing you and we are challenging you, but you're doing it with those industry leaders. So when you combine the fact that we are a national, top-tier national research institution mixed with the fact that we are structured around experiential-based learning, you're going to find that the classroom setting you're in is a very hands-on, immersive, challenging one. It is one where you get to build professional relationships, develop mentorships with some industry professionals, and you really get to experience what it's like in that challenging, hands-on environment from day one. It's these kinds of challenging environments challenging opportunities that are going to help you go on to achieve things like the Gilman International Award, or becoming a Stanford Fellow, or going on and competing or winning in many of the prestigious academic competitions that our Broncos are winning across the country. So while we're going to put you in classrooms where we're going to challenge you and we're going to push you, we're doing it in a really small setting. So 71% of our classes have less than 30 students in them. That's important. we want to make sure we're putting you in that environment where you get to be hands-on. You get to create this really immersive, safe, welcoming, inclusive environment with your fellow students, as well as your peers. It's important that you get that small environment where you can kind of take the risk and try something scary and new and challenging, and not be surrounded by hundreds of people. Yes, there are going to be times where you're going to be in a lecture hall. I think our largest lecture hall on campus is just over 200 people, but almost every class that is in that large structure also has a lab component to it. Again, we want to give you that opportunity to learn hands-on in a small environment.
Yeah, and we've kind of broken that academic journey for you here down into 3 basic stages, and that environment Chelsea talked about is integrated into all of them. Your first stage here is your foundation level. That is your introduction to the material. It's making sure that, yes, this is the academic path for me if you already know what you want to do. And if you have no idea what you want to do, it's your opportunity to talk with your individual exploratory academic advisor who will go over all of the options available to you, making sure that you're still getting your general education credits that everybody has to take, but also that you're taking classes that really dip into all of your different interest areas so that you have an opportunity to explore every path that lies before you. This is also your chance to get acclimated to Western, right? Whether you're a WMU freshman or you are transferring to us from another institution, it's your chance to really get introduced to the community and get comfortable in being a student here on main campus. And that really is what sets you up for success as you move into your mid-collegiate launch.
Yeah. So this is the time when you're taking classes that are tailored specifically to the future career path you want to go on, right? So you've got engineering majors that are taking their baccalaureate level writing class that's teaching them how to write like an engineer. That is a very different style than a creative writing major, right? But this is also when the classroom really transforms into that new space. This is when you're going to be in spaces that look like your future job, right? So you've got undergraduate psychology majors that are in the labs training African pouch rats how to detect tuberculosis and landmines. You've got costume design majors that are in the design lab and the costume shop that are building 17th century articles of clothing from scratch. What is really, really cool about this type of immersive hands-on experience is that you aren't just sitting at a desk behind a computer or behind a textbook reading about how to train an African pouch rat to detect tuberculosis and landmine. You were actually doing it. So every single one of our majors, all of the colleges, is built like that. You are get that actual hands-on experience. You're going to feel what it's like to build articles of clothing, trade money on the stock market, do all of those immersive things.
And that kind of experience really sets you up to be successful with your capstone project.
Mm-hmm.
Your capstone project, kind of your senior year here at WMU, it's essentially a year of self-guided learning. It's your opportunity to take everything you've learned in your academic journey, maybe combine it with your interests outside the classroom and build it into your own personalized project that you carry through to graduation. The entire time you are supported and guided by a team of mentors, industry professionals, professors, and your peers that you have hand-selected to be on your advisory board throughout the project. And because everybody's studying something different and all of you have different interests, it means that every project looks totally unique. So whether you want to do a kind of traditional thesis paper or write a grant and write a grant proposal for funding for future research, or you want to join a team of engineers researching flexible technology in collaboration with NASA, or maybe you want to start your own small business and turn it into a real business, a professional business post-graduation. We have students doing all of those kind of things on campus right now, and there are so many more opportunities available to you when it comes to those kind of projects. And what I personally love about the capstone project is it's not something you're just doing for a grade or to get your diploma at the end of the year. It's something that you can turn into future graduate experience or turn into an actual career opportunity post-undergraduate, which really prepares you for that future success. We're able to kind of support that academic success and that kind of research environment that Chelsea talked about through all of the aspects of our campus community. So when it comes to the campus community and the academic side of it, we have all of the typical support systems that you might expect to find at any four-year institution. So you have access to the Writing Center, the Bronco Study Zone, supplemental instructors, which are essentially class-specific peer tutors. They're people who have taken the class before, they've passed it with flying colors, and they come back for a second time to sit through the class with you in real time and take notes if you miss a day, offer reteach sessions at the end of the week. They offer group study times before midterms and final exams, and they're just there to support and carry you through the class. From personal experience, the supplemental instructors are my favorite thing. They're the only thing that got me through my math class here at WMU. But outside of academic support, we also understand that you are a full person, and Western has worked really hard to build a support system that is holistic and addressing all of your needs. So you have access to Syndicue's Health Center, you have access to the Student Recreation Center for free, which is amazing because it's one of the largest rec centers in the state of Michigan and has a ton of different unique classes and opportunities in there. You have access to free counseling here and all of the dining halls with all their unique meals and diverse and changing meals every day. You also have access to support systems like the Invisible Need Project, which was designed to support students in ways that maybe we're not always thinking about. So things like running a food bank here on campus or an emergency fund for students. You'll also find that you and your students, who represent over 100 different countries right now, are supported by the efforts of offices like the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, Multicultural Affairs for Students, LGBTQ Student Services, it's a lot of S's, Disability Services for Students, and numerous student organizations, all working to support all of you and everything that you bring to campus. And speaking of student organizations, you'll find that we have over 450. You hear them called a couple different things. They're called registered student organizations officially, but the students usually call them RSOs or clubs, and they cover every possible interest that you could have. So whether you want to join the student group designed just for connecting you with alumni in your area of study or focusing on studying and preparing in your classes, you can also join career-specific organizations. One of my favorite is Future Teachers of Color. It was designed by one of the student ambassadors that works with Chelsea Gordy, to support and explore all of the different ways that we can diversify and make the education system more representative of the population that they're working with. They actually hosted their first conference here last month on campus in their first year as an organization, which is an amazing opportunity for those students. You also have the opportunity to join Greek Life if you want. 6% of our student body is in Greek Life. They're super active on campus. They're super volunteer-based. So if you like volunteer work, Greek Life might be an option for you. Or if you just want to do something fun and find a way to relax outside of academics, you have a ton of just fun-based organizations. So things like Campus Activity Board, which plans events like concerts with Nick Jonas and Panic at the Disco and Little Yachty here on campus, or game nights or movie nights. We also have clubs like Squirrel Watchers Club, which is my personal favorite club. I think every university in the state of Michigan probably has a Squirrel Watchers Club, but our squirrels are the best. They are most entertaining. They're roughly the size of cats. No sources for that, but I believe it. And as I've mentioned, those organizations are throwing 4,000 plus engagement activities every year. So things like those concerts, things like those study groups and those movie nights and those game nights, but also things like the farmers markets every fall and the Bronco Bash, which is our welcome back to campus celebration here that starts every year off with a really great event, as well as all of our sporting events. We're a Division I school. We have 16 varsity level sports, as you can see, but we also have numerous club sports and intramural sports for every layer of our level of participation and commitment and skill. And you get into all of those sporting events completely free as a Broncos student. If sporting events aren't your thing, or if you're interested in more than just sports, you'll also find that being halfway between Detroit and Chicago and home to Miller Auditorium, we get a ton of touring shows. So things like Wicked, Rent, Book of Mormon, Lion King, but also the Russian Ballet and the Kalamazoo Orchestra and speakers like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Gloria Steinem. And every politician on the election campaign trail right now speaks at Miller, and Western students get 50% off to all the events happening at Miller. So there's always something to do on campus, and that level of engagement and community combined with the academic rigor and the standards and all of those things that Chelsea talked about really make it a place that you can be a part of something larger than yourself. And I'll talk about this, Chelsea, because it's, I know.
It is. This is my favorite piece. I mean, the opportunities you're going to have to be part of things that are bigger than yourself are just they're innumerable. We are an environmentally responsible green college. So we take our carbon footprint and all of our sustainability efforts incredibly seriously. So from our solar garden off of US 131 to sustainable orchards to campus-wide composting initiatives, there's just lots of opportunities for you to be part of that sustainable lifestyle. But what is really big about this, and what I think is the most impressive and the coolest part about us, is our student sustainability grants. So what these are, they're run by the Office of Sustainability, and they are grants that are given directly to students who recognize a problem or a sustainable opportunity on campus. So these students write up a grant proposal. They say, this is the problem, this is how I propose we fix it, how we can make the environment, make the community better. Then they get money to execute and build that grant. Build that solution. So one of a really great example of this is our water bottle refilling stations. So they're pretty standard now, I think, across the country, but a few years ago they weren't. And we had a student who recognized that we had a lot of kind of outdated water fountains. A ton of plastic waste because everyone's just buying the plastic water bottles at a really high rate. So she wrote a grant, got some money, bought a few water bottle refilling stations, scattered them across campus, and they worked. They started reducing our plastic waste. But the biggest part about this, and why I think the student sustainability grants are so important, is that the administration is watching. They're taking note of it, right? So this little project where I think she only had a few water bottle refilling stations was taken over by facilities and is now implemented on every single floor in almost every single building. You will see these water bottle refilling stations. So not only are we giving you, the student, tools to impact change on campus, but we're figuring out how we as an administration and staff and faculty, how can we amplify that? How can we make your idea bigger and have a far bigger reach than what you had originally thought? Those are incredible opportunities for you. But the other way that this really plays out is through our research. So like we talked about earlier, we're a top-tier national research institution. So the research that's happening on this campus is changing not just the community, but the world as a whole. And as a student, you get to be part of that from day one if you want. Okay, realistically, probably not day one. Like you're worrying about where your residence hall is, where your classes are on day one. You've got other things to do in that day. But definitely your first semester if you choose. But these research projects are things like NeoVent, which is a device that is implanted into premature babies to help support their lungs so they don't collapse. That started as an undergraduate capstone project, right? What Cal was talking about earlier, and it morphed all the way up to a full-scale research project, and is now an actual device that is used in clinics around the world. We also have a research project going on, the Smart Sensing Impact Helmet Detector, and what this is it's a device that goes inside football helmets and tracks and measures in real time the hits that student athletes are getting. Right, this type of research is changing the way contact sports might happen in the future. That is the type of research and the type of change that you get to be part of as a student. So not only do we give you time to think about, okay, how can this world be better? How can this community be a better place? We give you the tools and the resources to actually do it. And we empower you to do that. That is absolutely massive in my mind. And what's really cool is the environment that you get to do it in. You're not surrounded by the middle of nowhere here. You're surrounded by a really cool urban city that is Kalamazoo.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo is kind of amazing. It's only a 5-minute drive from the heart of the city, a 30-minute walk. It's a really lovely walk downhill from campus into the city, but walking back, it is all uphill. So I suggest take the walk into the city in the summer, yes, then Uber back to your residence hall.
Fun fact, so originally before we were the Broncos, or we were the Western Michigan University Hilltoppers, and that was because of the number of hills we have here. So a lot of fun walking.
Oh yeah. So walking between Western and Kalamazoo, or taking the free bus rides that we get on the city buses or the Western buses, or using your own car or your friend's car if you're borrowing their car, you'll have access to a ton of different opportunities. And we really consider it an extension of the academic environment because there are over 50 different businesses offering opportunities for our students. So businesses like Stryker and Pfizer and the Kalamazoo hospitals and the Kalamazoo public school system, just to name a few, that are offering major related career opportunities and internships. outside of work, outside of academics, Kalamazoo is just an amazing place to be a college student. Families, it's an amazing place to visit a college student. We're obviously not the only ones who think so. You can see on your screen the different awards and titles that Kalamazoo has been given. My coworkers like to call it a 4 seasons playground because there's always something to do year round. And while I think that's kind of cliche, it's cliche because it's 100% true. Always something to do in Kalamazoo. So like WMU, it's the best of both worlds, whether you want to go to a ton of the local art museums or history museums, a ton of really great music venues and fantastic local restaurants with amazing student discounts, which means students, you are buying your family's lunch when they come to visit. You also have access to all the great Michigan outdoors. So within the city, you're never 6 miles from a lake. You are 45 minutes from South Haven and Lake Michigan, which is a great destination in the summer. You're also 20 minutes from 2 different ski resorts, and there are numerous local nature reserves and areas for students to hike in the winter or snowshoe in the winter and hike in the summer and just enjoy year round for free. So like I said, always something to do in Kalamazoo. So spend 4 to 5 years exploring everything Kalamazoo and Southwest Michigan has to offer, but also spend 4 to 5 years getting everything you can out of Western in terms of academics and career opportunities. So you are more than prepared to be successful when you graduate. You would talk about some of that success, Chelsea?
Yeah, it brings us to kind of what all your time here culminates with, alumni success. So 91% or 9 out of 10 Broncos are employed or in grad school shortly after graduation. That's important, right? We give you the skills and the experience to land the job. What I love is that 89% of them are satisfied with their jobs. That's big. That means that we've done our job. We gave you the hands-on experiences to figure out, yeah, I love this. Yeah, I'm good at what I'm doing. This is the right path for me. The hands-on immersive style we have here really makes sure that we are prepping you not just to get the job and crush the job once you graduate, but to make sure it's the right one for you. I think I have so many friends from, this is years ago, that studied one thing for 4 years, graduated, got into the workforce and went, oh gosh, I really don't like this. This isn't. We are actively working to make sure we are putting you in situations way before graduation so you know that's not the case. We want to give you the time here to prep yourself, prep your resume, get yourself ready to land the job of your dreams. And that's what's happening. You then get to graduate and go off and be part of the 250,000 alumni that are scattered around the world, crushing it, doing some really cool things and impacting change at a level that is so much larger than just campus. Impacting the world at a very large community level, and continuing to share your Bronco pride and gold and brown all over the world. It's cool. It's very, very exciting, the experience you get here on campus, in the classrooms, in that environment, to then go off and land your dream job. It's big. But let's kind of summarize it with one thing. So Cal and I were talking about how this program really, everything that we've thrown at you so far, really gets summarized nicely in the WMU signature. So Cal, kind of describe to us what this is. And
Yeah, so WMU Signature is a program that I'm super excited about, and I'm really excited to see more students taking advantage of it. It's essentially a way of combining your academic interests with your interests outside the classroom and then turning that into usable experience. So you come in, you declare your major in whatever it is that you want to study. Maybe you're declaring 2 majors with 5 minors, it's possible. And then you sit down with your personal WMU Signature advisor and you highlight your interest area. So whether that's sustainability or civic engagement or diversity and inclusion or any of those things on those lists or multiple things on the list that you can you talk with that advisor about all the opportunities you have to explore those interest areas, both on campus, there are a ton of opportunities, as well as off campus, throughout the city of Kalamazoo and across the globe on our study abroad programs. They look like meeting with lecturers, going to speaking events, attending museums, just studying and getting cultural experiences, whether if you're across the globe. And then you come back to campus, you sit down with that advisor again, and you talk about all the ways that you can list those experiences on a resume, all the ways that you can talk about it in an interview once you're off campus, and all the ways that you can turn those experiences into more educational opportunities or job opportunities post-graduation. And what makes it unique, because this program is unique, it's one of the only program of its kind in the country, is sign off on it. we put it on your degree. We sign that, yes, you have these experiences and that you are graduating from Western, not only as somebody who has their diploma, but as somebody who is prepared and driven and knowledgeable and fluent in change and ready for whatever the next step may be, whatever that looks like for you.
It's cool. So we've said a lot today. We've described a lot about what it means to be a Bronco, introduced you some things that maybe you haven't thought of before and haven't heard anybody say, but we are excited to welcome you to this community, to be introducing you to hopefully your future home. Western is a school of challenge, of choice, of inspiration. It is a school that is going to push you to become the absolute best version of yourself. We're going to give you experiences that you never in your wildest dreams thought you'd be able to do. And we're going to do it in a really supportive, inclusive, encouraging, fun environment. So if you're ready to become a Bronco and start bleeding brown and gold with us, we're excited to welcome you to campus. We're excited to give you more information. We're excited for you to become part of this community, because it is quite literally that, a strong, inclusive, fantastic gold community. So yeah, with that, thanks.
Welcome to Western, everybody.
Woo! Have a great day, everybody.
Did we stop recording? We didn't stop recording.